Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my creative time with Emma, and also welcome to my very first I'm going to start this new little segment on my blog where I'm going to kind of just share with you little tips and tricks that I know, little things that might help any of you out there. It may not all pertain to scrapbooking. It could pertain to either organizing. I can even throw some cooking stuff in there since I cook a lot. Just basically it's going to be overall just basically just like a little tip of the day, and I will be doing this on Fridays. So little short videos. Some videos may be longer than others depending on what it is. So basically what we are going to do, and I kind of talked about it a little bit in yesterday's video, how I measure my sentiments to fit into a shape perfectly, like on my gypsy. So for example, we are going to be using the cartridge. Okay, we're going to be using Cindy Lou, and we're going to be using this little frame right here, okay? And actually I think this is the first time that I'm using this cartridge, okay? So we're going to use this little frame right here, and I want it where my sentiment just fits right in the center perfectly. So how I usually do it, I'm going to use this super cute stamp set here from Market Street Stamps, called Simple Joys. And let's see, I want to use the one that says Find Your Bliss. Here we go, right here. Okay, here it goes right there. So usually if I don't use two stamp sets, how I usually do is I just grab a ruler and I just measure it directly on my actual stamp. On the little clear plastic it comes on. But being that I'm going to kind of incorporate two stamps with this, then that's when I go ahead and I just throw it on my block. And I just kind of arrange it on there how it's going to be. So basically just like so, okay? And then since I have two of them, now I'm going to go ahead and measure them both together. So it looks like this could be up and down 2 inches. Actually, I could actually do this a 2 by 2. So what I want to make sure is that the inside of the frame is a 2 by 2 size. So let's go ahead and show that to you on my gypsy. So here is the frame right here. Now to get to that frame, it's this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the 9th row. I should know there's 10, but anyway, so it's the second to the last one. Just go ahead and click on shadow and it'll bring you to that frame there, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and click on that and go to my mat. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the little hourglass here just to make it bigger. Okay, let me just show you something really quick. Let me zoom in for you. Okay, you see the little boxes right here, and I know for sure one box is 1 inch. So if I want it to be a 2 by 2, all I have to do is make sure the inside of the frame covers 4 boxes. Okay, since it's 2 inches by 2 inches. Okay, so let me go ahead and bring this up here. So right now it's only covering 1 box. I need it to cover 4 on the inside. I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to take my little hourglass and then just kind of just keep going up, which is making it bigger. And I think that's it right there. That's perfect. That'll give me a perfect 2 by 2. See how it's covering 2 squares? So 2 inches by 2 inches. So that's perfect, okay? But now I don't want the frame portion so thick, okay? So this is what I'm going to do. Let me zoom out here. I'm going to bring this up here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy it over. Okay, so I'm going to click on my advance, and I'm going to use my copy feature and just bring this over here, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my hide contour feature, which is this right here, and I always say that looks like a little photo corner. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to hide the inside of the frame, okay? And I'm going to click on OK. Alright, so now I'm going to go to this one and I'm going to use my hide contour feature, and this one I'm going to hide the outside, alright, because I don't want to hide the inside because that's the size I want perfectly, okay? So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this one over here on top, okay, and I'm going to shrink the frame down so it won't be so thick, okay? So I'm going to use my hourglass again, and I'm just going to just shrink it down. Let me zoom in for you so you could see. Okay, this kind of gets a little confusing only because you see how the gray outline there, that was the original size of the other one. Okay, so kind of don't let it, it used to drive me nuts at first, but I actually learned to adjust to it. Just always make sure the blue is what you're working with, the blue around there, okay, not the gray. Okay, so let's see. If I move it over, the black part is my actual size I want to work with. Okay, so let me see. You see how the frame, you see how there's not that much room in between? That's how I want it to be, okay? So now that it's perfect to how I want it, you don't have to weld this together. You could just throw your piece of paper on the mat right now and cut it, and it will cut out to the frame. But I love welding my stuff together only because I can move it all at once around the mat if I like, okay? So I'm going to click on my basic button, click on my group. And basically what I'm going to do is just group everything together. You see how the square turned blue and so did the frame. So I'm going to click on my advance, click on the weld feature, and then if I click on my eyeball, you see how perfect it is like there. See how the frame isn't so thick? Not that that was a huge problem, but I didn't want it as thick as it was. So now that we got that portion done, I'm going to turn off my eyeball, and then I'm just going to move this up in the corner, okay? So now what I want to do is I want to, let me scoot that over. I want to take the inside square and I'm going to copy it over because I'm going to make a square just a little bit bigger so this way I could put the frame on top of it. Hopefully you understand, because when I cut it out it's going to be empty in the center, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's see, you see, do I have it? Yeah. I have the highlighted inside of the frame purple, okay? And I'm not sure if you could see that or not, but the inside of it is purple. I'm going to click on my copy machine, on my little copy tab, okay? Because I want to copy the inside, all right? So I'm going to click on my copy tab, and it came over here. So I'm just going to, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep it on top, okay? Let me go back. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep it on, I'm going to go directly on top of it, but now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this hourglass again and just kind of make it bigger. And the reason why I'm doing that is because that's the part I'm going to stamp on, and it'll make sense as soon as we're done. You see how I made it bigger? It's the purple one. And you see how it's a little bit bigger? It's because I want to be able to glue it on the frame. Okay, so now that I got the size I want, I'm going to go ahead and just use my little arrows here and bring it down. Now it looks like I did the whole frame, but remember that frame is hidden, so I'm going to scooch that over. And then that's basically how it's going to look, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this out. Now I'm going to show you one more thing on here if you want to just only do this by itself. So we know it's a 2x2 frame, okay? We know it's a 2x2 stamp size, okay? So if you want another shape, let's go ahead and go back here really quick. Let's see, if you want to put it in a little circle, I think that'll look cute. What you want to do is just go ahead and go to your basic, and then what you want to do is use real dial size, okay, because we want to make sure the entire thing is 2 inches around. So we're going to click on our height and do 2 inches. Okay, but if you look at it, it looks like if we were to stamp it, some of it will get cut off, because remember how I said it's got to cover 4 squares. So that's where I'm gonna, the hourglass is gonna come in. I'm just gonna go ahead and just make it just a little bit bigger. Okay, so if I were to cut out that circle, it'll be a perfect size for that stamp. Okay, so that was just another item I wanted to show you on here. So let's go ahead and get this frame cut out, and I can show you how I threw it together. This is what my frame looks like right here. I used this super duper cute pattern paper also that I had gotten from my favorite store, the Green Tangerine store. This one's called Beach Babe, and this is from Fancy Pants as well. Super cute papers in here. Some of them are missing because I tore them out. I don't know where I put them right now, but anyhow, That's where I got this paper from, okay? And I already attached these two together, but I made a bigger one because I wanted to do a different project. So I'm going to show you how I attach that. Okay, if I didn't shrink down the frame would be a lot thicker than this, okay? You see how this is bigger? You see how it's a little bit bigger? So now what I do is I just flip this over, and then I just grab my little glue, my favorite zip dry glue. I love this stuff. And I use the zip dry because it's the ATG gun will probably be too thick to go around it. Okay, because you just want it only close to the frame, okay? Alright, and then what you want to do is just, and then this will go perfectly back here. Now you could just hide the center and cut out the frame altogether, but you know me, I hate to waste stuff. Okay, there we go. See, and there's a little bit of glue, but that's fine, okay? So I wanted to show you how that frame actually gets together, just like so, okay? I made a bigger one because I have something else to do with that one. Okay, so now we got our cute little frame here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp it now, okay? So I took off that other one, Live Your. So we're going to go ahead and stamp Bliss on here, okay? So, I don't know why I do this, but I always do this. Weird habit, I know, but I can't help it. Okay, so I'm going to get Bliss stamped on here first because Live Your is going to be right above it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stamp it right here. How perfect is that? What a beautiful stamp. As you know, Market Street Stamps is manufactured by Peachy Keen Stamps, so that explains the awesomeness of these stamps. And Angelica is the actual designer of, she is Market Street Stamps. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and stamp Find Your on here. And this is going to go right above here. Okay, isn't that awesome? Perfect. Now, I could have went smaller, but the reason why I didn't is because I want to do some little black stitching in there. So that's why I didn't do it smaller. So anyhow, hopefully that little tip helps some of you out there today. And you could go ahead and join me back again next Friday for something else short and sweet. So anyways, if you're watching over at YouTube, you could go ahead and head onto my blog and see the cute little project I made with this. Okay, have a fabulous Friday and also a great weekend, and I will see you back here on Monday. Bye-bye.